Today's true story from the Bible comes from Mark chapter 5, verses 21 through 43. A great crowd gathered around Jesus. One of the leaders of the synagogue, named Jairus, came to Jesus and fell at his feet, begging for his help. "My little girl is very sick," Jairus said. "She's so sick she may die. I know that if you come to her, she will be healed and live." Jesus went with Jairus and they headed towards the man's house. The great crowd followed him and pressed in closely. In the crowd, there was a woman who was very sick. She had been bleeding for 12 years. She had spent all of her money on treatments and doctors, but she had only gotten worse. She had heard about Jesus' power. She said, "If I can just touch the hem of his robe, I will be made well." She pressed through the crowd and touched his robe. Immediately, she was healed. Jesus felt power go out of him and stopped. "Who touched my robe?" he asked the crowd. The disciples said, "Do you see all of these people? Why would you even ask that?" The woman came trembling and knelt down before Jesus. She told him the whole truth about what had happened. Jesus looked at her and said, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." At that moment, someone from Jairus' house came and said, "Your daughter is dead." There's no reason for Jesus to come. But Jesus turned to Jairus and said, "Do not fear, believe." He continued to Jairus' house, where he found people crying loudly, mourning the little girl. "The child isn't dead," Jesus told them. "She is sleeping." The crowd laughed at Jesus, but he made them all leave. And he took the girl's father and mother and 3 of his disciples into the room where the girl was lying. He took her hand and said, "Little girl, I say to you, arise." Immediately, the little girl got up and began walking around, and everyone was amazed at what they had seen.